Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's the Straight Faced, aka Persistence, and today I have Nature DPS, mainly single target gameplay. What am I talking about? All single target gameplay. So, if you've been watching my last couple of videos, I've been, of course, mental. I've been doing loadout guides for mental, single target, and AoE, and I've been doing a lot of testing with mental. And I was just like, why don't I go nature and see why everybody says that this power is really, really good? And so then I gave it a shot. I got my Scrap of the Soul Cloak up to rank 80, which is pretty low because it's the first bonus that you get, which is like not even a bonus really. Well, if I had the artifact pulled up here, you guys will know what I'm talking about. But rank 80 is really nothing. And so I put extended supercharge on my chest piece, and so I was able to spam gorilla form and wolf form on ads pretty frequently. It wasn't even a problem. But with that in mind, I had about 55k might. I think I have 55k might, and my artifacts weren't even close to max. They still aren't. And I was just very shocked, man. Like, this power is really, really good, man. The numbers that I was hitting, not specifically this boss fight, but the last boss fight in this raid, I forgot what it was called. I just returned to the game, so I barely run these raids. So I mainly do alerts, solos, and outside missions, and I'm pretty sure, well, I do those missions for the current DLC, not for this DLC. I'm pretty sure this is like a Metal Part 1 or 2 raid, and so I don't do Metal 1 and Part 2 raids that frequently because it's irrelevant. So you guys will see on the last boss how ridiculous this power is, man. Look how much I was parsing, 66k per second, and this is supposed to be a single target loadout right here. And if you're wondering what this loadout is, like how I was spec'd in this video, or like what I was using for my head socket, I'll put a link below down in the description. What I literally did, if I steal a loadout, I will say it up front. I'm not that type of person to be like, I made this loadout, so I'll make a loadout guide on what to do. I won't say that if it's not mine. So, with that said, this loadout I got from Obsidian Chill. I'll link his channel down below and give him some credit. So, I didn't even experiment with this power, really. It was really my first run, my first raid. I told my friend White Boy in here, White Boy killed you too, or I can't see his name from here, I'm far away from my screen, but I hit him up and I was like, yo, let's do this raid. He was a low CR, he needed it, so I was like, I want to test out my nature build, see what it's like. Not my build, but I wanted to test out nature DPSing, so I'll help you out, let's do this raid. And so we made a group, and man, just look at the damage. And it's supposed to be a single target gorilla form. This specific loadout is supposed to be for single target, but man, yo, I was having so much fun, man. Like, that impaling thorns, I think the finisher for nature, I didn't know this. Like, I didn't know that it was an AoE effect. It's not just single target, whereas mental's finisher terrorize only hits one target. And so I can imagine if the old me was in this raid and I was going up against the old me, and as you can see, I'm nature here and going up against the old me, mental, I would destroy a mental DPS with this. Like, I was parsing like 113k per second, and I don't even I have 55k might. I can imagine somebody that's fully maxed out with artifacts and they have the most relevant gear, the OP legs, OP waist. I can just imagine how much damage they're doing. They might be doing 150,000 per second. I don't know. But let me get closer to my screen, because at this, the thing about gorilla form is you do weapon taps in between your powers, and so that weapon tap hits hard as is, 9Ks, 9K crits, 10K crits, and it adds a lot of damage to your loadout, which already hits super hard. And so the thing about the weapon tap is, if the boss is blocking and you do the weapon tap, it's also a block breaker, so you get extra damage from the block break that you do. And so there you go, there on the screen it just popped up, 75k crit precision damage from block breaking a boss. 40k. I don't even think it's from block breaking. I'm just hitting that hard for no reason, I think. But you guys can rewind the video and slow-mo it if you want to, but I was hitting extremely hard with the weapon tap also, and I was just in complete shock. Like, as soon as I got the loadout, I just went to the league hall and I went on 3 targets, practiced the wolf form, got the hang of it pretty easily. The loadout is pretty straightforward. It's not a hard power to use. It's not complicated, and so I went to the single target, tested out the gorilla form, and I hit pretty hard, but I didn't know I would hit this hard in a raid, because I had no idea that Impaling Thorns, like I said earlier, was an AoE. So if there's 2 bosses, if there's 3 bosses, you're going to be shredding all of those bosses. So I can't imagine a scenario where a person that's completely maxed out will lose to a precision DPS. So that's it for this video.